Hello class, my name is Ethan, and I bet most of you have thought about tattoos in one way or another, whether you already have one, or you are thinking about getting one, or even getting another one, or if you know you don't even want to get one. But what you all probably know is that tattoos in most workplaces aren't allowed, or they're supposed to be covered up in some way. They're not supposed to be visible if they are in visible areas. Like maybe if you work, you have a short sleeve shirt for your work shirt, but like maybe you have like a tattoo here on your forearm, or maybe one here on your neck, and you have to, cover it up somehow. Tattoos in most workplaces today are considered unacceptable, and the customers don't want to see that, and that's what the employers, the managers, and all that, that's what they think that customers have a problem with, because some do have problems with them. Now, why are they currently not allowed? Well, like I said, some customers do look at tattoos in some ways, whether it's their religious preferences or maybe just their regular preferences. They just think tattoos are trashy in some way. They look at tattoos on the worker who may be serving them food or helping them in their retail store, and they just think they're delinquent. They are just not right. They have, ruined their skin because it's a permanent thing. From a quote from the Crimson White, which is a news article of the University of Alabama, a reason for hiding tattoos in office jobs may be because some people find them distracting. Now yes, tattoos can be distracting. You look at them, they might be colorful, or they have a lot going on, or even if it's just something small like a heart, you still look at them and find them that you're getting distracted by it. Now, however, that should not be the case to consider them unacceptable and ban them and make them hidden just because they're distracting. There's a lot of things that are distracting. I may look out my window and see a bird and not get my work done for a couple minutes because I'm like, oh, that bird is very pretty. So there's really no reason as to why they should be unacceptable, but as I said, people with religious preferences or just their regular thinking that, they're wrong in some way, whether it's how they're raised or just what they think. Now, some places are already changing their rules. They realize that, tattoos aren't that bad unless they have something bad, something about murder or something that is provocative or has profanity in some way. But they realize that some people might have like a heart on their wrist that means something. Like my sister, she has a number 6 in Roman numerals on her wrist, which symbolizes me and my 5 other siblings, because there's 6 of us in total, so she has a 6. And that doesn't mean anything bad or evil or it's like provocative in any way. It has a special meaning. And she works at a hospital, and her employer, does not care that she shows it, because they're like, oh, it's nothing dangerous, nothing bloody, gory, provocative, has profanity in some way. Now, from Insights for Professionals, but a more recent article talking about a previous one said they were no longer a kiss of death in the workplace. What this means is that in the workplace, employers used to think of tattoos as a kiss of death. It was the thing that was going to get you fired, and it's what's going to lead people to not come to your store, because they're like, oh, they let their employees show these tattoos that are just evil and wrong. And what this quote is talking about from Insights for Professionals is that places realize that it's not a kiss of death as long as it doesn't have anything wrong, evil, murderous, profanity, provocative, and they're saying that, let it show a little bit more. Now, why should they be allowed, you may be asking, if you, think that they shouldn't. From a quote from the Collegiate Times, when employers don't hire someone because of their body art, they are participating in a form of discrimination. Now, that's a big word, obviously, discrimination, racism, sexism, homophobia, my bad. Basically, it is a form of discrimination. You're saying that this person can't work for you, even though they could be 100% qualified just because of what is on their body, what they chose to put on their body, even if it's not something harmful in some way. Another quote says, employers should appreciate individuality and the courage it takes to get a tattoo and wear it proudly. That's from the Cougar. And that's true. it takes a lot of strength to go and get a tattoo because it is painful and you're paying for it and they're expensive most of the time. Like my sisters, all 4 of them have some tattoo somewhere and they chose to get it, and all of them are just like my oldest 2 sisters have, one has a sun on her ankle and the other one has a moon right here, and they just symbolize that, you know, they're opposites but they're together in some way. They both have meaning and it means something to them, and they chose to get it and they don't have to hide it because it doesn't mean anything, and they're in areas that aren't visible. Tattoos should not have to be covered unless they're discriminatory, or they contain profanity, or they are provocative in some way. Employers should let their employees express themselves. It's like having a piercing. I pierced my nose over this past weekend on Saturday, or my ears are pierced, and my hair is colored. They let employees have ear piercings and face piercings to an extent, and colored hair. Even if it's naturally colored, it's still colored. And they let their employees have that, but they won't let them show a tattoo that's of a jellyfish on their forearm, something like that. And it doesn't mean that it's unprofessional, it just means that some people find it wrong, and it's up to the employer. And most places are now changing that. Thank you.